others that we still be in our neighborhood, etc. What is that helping you? All it's doing is hindering you, you know? And another thing, to me personally, I believe it doesn't matter if you have 1 million followers and $1 million in your bank account, 5 businesses, etc. If your mindset and mentality is still the same ways of your neighborhood, you didn't make it out. But you're still a product of your environment. See, to me, the goal is to not become a product of your environment and become more. Because when you choose not to become a product of your environment, you are allowing yourself to grow. You're allowing your mind to be renewed. But if you still have that same mindset and mentality, you have $1 million in your bank account and 1 million followers on all these businesses, etc., and you're successful, you didn't make it out. The only thing is, your body is free, but your mind isn't. You're still a prisoner with a lot of money and a lot of followers. And that can be your biggest downfall, because you cannot expand with the same mindset that broke you down the first time. You have to grow. That's why you don't see me in my neighborhood as much anymore. That's why you don't see me around individuals that I used to hang out with when I was a kid. Because what they are choosing to do, I have outgrew. That is not who I am anymore, and that's not what I stand for. And I want something different in life. And if I choose to hang around with those individuals I used to hang out with, which is no disrespect, then I will become who I used to be. And that's not the goal. Because if that's the goal, then I'm going backwards. And I'm failing. You know? That's why I don't hang in my neighborhood like that no more. Not because of what's going on. Because at the end of the day, those individuals in that community are still my brothers, you know, and they still my sisters. They still my family, because at the end of the day, family fight, you know. But we have to find a way to overcome it and put our differences to the side, because the things that we're fighting over is not even alive and it's not real, you know. But the person that you're fighting against, they are real. They're human just like you. And sometimes we are killing them over things that's not even alive, you know. So at the end of the day, those people in that community, I still care for them. They're still my family, no matter what the world say. But at the same time, I feel like I don't owe my neighborhood myself. As in, I feel like I don't have to stay there. And a lot of people probably think they owe their neighborhood loyalty. And I'm trying to figure out why. Why they think they owe their neighborhood loyalty. They constantly have to go back and prove to others that they didn't change. Because in the streets, if you change, that means you're not loyal. That means you're not solid. But the whole purpose of life is to change and grow. Because when you change, you're growing into a better person. You're not supposed to stay the same. You know? I feel like if I constantly attach myself to my neighborhood and constantly want to be a part of it, etc., it would hinder me. Because the world is so big. The world is so big, my neighborhood is not even on the map. And my cousin Wax told me this. He told me that my neighborhood was so big. He told me that the world was so big that Post Road won't even be found on the map. He told me that basically it's more to life than my neighborhood. It's more to life than a block. It's more to life than selling drugs, etc. You know? And it sucks that a lot of these kids won't see that because they're so stuck in this street code or something like that. And they die. And they don't see that it's more to life. They're not free. You see all these rappers traveling the world with all this money, etc. And you think they're so free, but they're not. They're still a product. They're still suffering. Just now they have money. They don't live in a community anymore. But they're still suffering them same things when they were broke. And just now they have money. You know, since you got money, it doesn't change the feeling that you have within yourself. It doesn't change that brokenness that you have within yourself. You just have money, and now you have an image that can basically persuade others that you're happy or that you got it made, etc. But they don't know the battle that you're fighting within or what you fight by yourself. You know. Yeah, that King Von situation, that's sad, you know. It's really sad. It is, because to me, all he knew was his neighborhood. His mindset. Even though you see him traveling the world, his mind was still stuck in that neighborhood, in those ways, and it trapped him. And he was caged in. He was a prisoner. And then look, what happened? This is the results. It's sad, though. You don't owe your neighborhood nothing. You don't owe your neighborhood yourself. And you don't constantly have to go back to your neighborhood to prove something to somebody. Let your neighborhood go. You can always love your neighborhood. You can always just never forget where you come from. You can give back. But sometimes a part of you have to let that neighborhood go. You know? Because it can hinder you. And this is not saying forget where you come from. Because I love my neighborhood dearly. And people, I'm sure a lot of people know that. But life is way bigger than Brentwood. You know? There's so much more to life than Brentwood. Brentwood would be here when I come back. If God wanted to be here. You know? Those people that I love so dearly in the neighborhood would be here. If God wanted them to be here. But it's just my time to expand and go and travel the world. And see the world. And help others, because there's so many other people that need my help. You know? So much more to this world than your block, than drugs, than you're literally wasting your life away for a piece of paper. And a lot of y'all probably never put your feet in the sand. Y'all probably never seen the ocean. No. All because y'all want to stay on the block. Prove to somebody that you this gangster. What are you proving? And live your life. You know? I'm not a gangster. I'm nothing like that. I'm Nashawn Clay. I never was a gangster. At the same time, I did become a product of my environment, because that street life was just all I knew. It was just all I knew. You know, I thought it was normal. But at the same time, many probably don't know I wanted out, because I believe it was more than my neighborhood in the world. I believe it was more. And I fought. Even though I faced so many closed doors, I faced so many put downs, etc., I still fought. You know? I still fought to get out. And I realized that it really wasn't me trying to fight to get out of my neighborhood. It was me fighting my inner wounds that I had. That's what I was trying to fight. That's what I was trying to overcome. But I didn't know the fight was within me until I met Jesus. And that's when I know I was really running away from my inner problems. You know? And I got saved. I got baptized. I'm learning to stay away from sin. My mind is being renewed. A lot of people still approach me as if I'm the same version of myself that they once knew. But they can't do that anymore. Because that girl that they once knew is no longer here. She's dead. Because I have grown. My mind has been renewed. I don't think those ways. I'm still overcoming a lot of ways. I'm a stranger to a lot of people. I'm a stranger to a lot of my old friends. They don't know me anymore. They believe they do. They don't. Like, I'm literally a stranger. You know? Who you see me becoming today who's behind that gangster image. That's why you should never judge a book by its cover, because you never know what people are facing or dealing with. And you don't know why they cover themselves or act certain ways or cover themselves in certain images. You don't know what they're fighting within. You don't know, you know, because a lot of these kids that I have reached out to that have this gangster image, I know that's not who they truly are, you know. I know the real them is behind the image, but at the same time, they probably won't just come out because they probably have to trust me. They're probably scared, you know. You probably don't know what they're thinking. They probably think I'm going to expose them or something. But that's not my intention. My intention is to help them. Because I don't want to see them die to the gun. I don't want to see them in jail. And that's what a lot of people have to realize. What I want in life is way bigger than representing turf, etc. You know, I don't care about this turf. I don't care about that beef that's going on Post Road. It needs to come to an end because they need to see it's more to life than the turf that they do not own. Not one of those individuals own Brentwood. They're fighting over another man's property. And I don't think they realize that. You cannot fight over another man's property that you do not own. Because that same man can come and put all y'all out and there's nothing y'all can do about it. So why fight and how fight over something that does not belong to you? And I wish I could have told my young self this too. Why are you fighting over something you don't own? You just live there. It's not yours, you know? It's like kids, you know? That's why I feel like the battle starts in the household. Because a lot of these things that these adults are doing today is because they were allowed to do it in their household. Like a kid can be bad in their household and get praised by adults and think it's okay and grow up and take those ways into the world. And then they take those bad ways into the world and get killed. And now we blaming that on other people or the city or other people, but we refuse to look at people and look at the household and say, how did you raise them? What did you allow them to do? Etc. Parents, adults, people, guardians need to look within themselves and see the product that you are making in these children. And the product that you are making in these children represents you. Sorry, something in my throat. I was not about to cry. Who your child becomes is a part of you. It's a reflection of you. You know? And just because you got money, you give them a roof, etc. The kid needs more than that. You know? You can't be emotionally unavailable to your child and expect them to come out good, you know? That situation with King Von was completely sad. And I think about it because I feel like that kid had a really good heart. You know, I feel like I saw a glimpse of the real him. Not that gangster image that he shows to the world, because I believe he's not that gangster image. But I believe I saw the real him. You know, wanting to change his community and give back, but he was just so stuck. Probably didn't know a way to go. It cost him his life. But I'm gonna end this because I do have to work. Wish all well, and I hope y'all have a good day. You know?